Hey guys, welcome to LaughNapkin. Today I'll be reading 2 stories from r/MaliciousCompliance, and then 2 of your comment stories. Also, a big announcement, I just made a subreddit, r/LaughNapkin, to help me organize story submissions. So come on over and join the subreddit to submit your own stories. Also, a big shout out to the authors for letting me read their stories today. Now let's get into it. If boss threatens firing staff for playing MmmBop from an approved company CD list, I'll get you demoted. I worked one summer at a canoe rental company located in a large provincial park. The place employed about 60 people aged 16 to 23 on average, with a few management who were older. One of the rules at the place was the only acceptable music that could be played on the speaker system was from a specific list of approved albums that were in a book filled with CDs. One of my jobs was to open up the shop in the morning. This meant that I started about 15 minutes before everyone else. My usual routine would be to get everything unlocked, the tills in place, move a few canoes that were the first thing rental that morning, and then at exactly 7 o'clock, press play on the CD player. I would go and get my morning coffee, eat breakfast, and watch the world go by for about 15 minutes before going back to work. Usually the person who started at 7 o'clock in the shack would be the one responsible to pick and start the music. However, as I was really efficient, I would be able to get my morning duties done, press play, and be long gone from the vicinity before what song I'd picked was apparent to people listening. For the first few days, I chose nice classical upbeat music to get everyone going. Beatles, Led Zeppelin, maybe some CCR, etc. I really enjoyed sipping my coffee and watching all the kids starting to work, bobbing their heads to the music as they flipped canoes, cleaned off tables, etc. The assistant manager was one of those my way or the highway individuals. If you got on his bad side, he would give you the worst jobs, belittle you in public, and essentially just be a jerk. We'll call him Assistant Jerk. One afternoon, one of the younger women working at the shack puts on a CD from the book by Hanson, called MmmBop. Everyone in the area who can hear the speaker starts bobbing their head to the music and singing along to the chorus. All in all, everyone seems to be enjoying the song. Everyone except Assistant Jerk. Right when the chorus drops, he comes running out of the office and starts to very loudly yell at the women working at the shack. I won't quote him verbatim, but essentially he told her, "If you or anyone else plays this song again, you'll be fired." He makes her take off her uniform and leave work for the day. I overhear parts of this discourse and approach Assistant Jerk and ask why he reacted the way he did and that the CD she chose was in the approved binder, so what's the issue? You can't fire or threaten someone's job if they are following the rules. His response was something along the lines of that the song would make the company look bad and shouldn't be played. He refused to apologize to the woman when I told him he was out of line, and his response was to threaten my job as well. Next morning at 7 o'clock, and every morning I worked thereafter, guess what song I chose to play at full volume? Remember, by the time the chorus dropped, I'm long gone from the shack. So whoever was unfortunately closest to the radio at the moment would get yelled at and threatened, etc. I made several extra copies of the CD, so every day Assistant Jerk would throw out the Hanson CD, and the next day it would get played again. I made a point to talk with everyone who got yelled at afterwards and explain their legal rights to them, and that I had witnessed how out of line Assistant Jerk had been. No one got fired or officially disciplined despite Assistant Jerk's attempts. This went on for about a month, until the owner got in early one day and observed the whole process, especially how Assistant Jerk talked to the staff. The album was on the approved list, so it was a totally acceptable choice. Assistant Jerk was demoted and was not hired back the next year. I of course played the song daily the rest of the season whenever Assistant Jerk, or now Jerk, was also working. It gives me a little skip to my step when I hear that song and picture his scowling face storming across the dock with the sun rising over the horizon and birds chirping in the background. Beautiful. We are all malicious compliancers on this blessed day. A guy I know, we both work in emergency services public safety, was at a restaurant with his family. He racked up a 100+ bill. Waitress brings the bill, he puts his credit card in the receipt thing and hands it back to her. She comes back a few minutes later and tells him she can't charge the meal to that card because he doesn't look like the picture on the credit card. Well, that's true. He had lost 150 pounds in the preceding 2 years. Oh, that's me. I used to be fat. I'm sorry, sir. You don't look like the picture. My manager won't let me run the card. Well, I don't carry that much cash, and that's my only credit card, so what do you want to do? I don't know, sir, but I can't charge this card if you don't match the picture. Well, kids, you heard the lady. Free meal. Manager comes out. Sir, you're gonna have to find another way to pay for that check. There isn't another way. I gave you my card, you refused to charge it, so it's your problem now. Well, if you leave, I'll have to call the police. 10 minutes later. Cop. Oh, hey Josh, what's up? Remember that Josh works public safety. He personally knows all the local cops. They won't take my card because it has my fat picture on it. The cop is trying very hard not to laugh. Yes ma'am, I can vouch for him. He's the same person as the extremely fat picture on the card. Manager. I can't charge the card if the picture doesn't match. Cop. So he's tried to pay, and I've confirmed he is who he says he is, and that the picture on the card is him, and you won't run the card? Manager. I'm not allowed to. No. Cop. Well, Josh, you heard the lady. Free meal. Josh and the cop then proceed to stand in the parking lot for another 20 minutes laughing and talking, while the manager glared out the door from behind the hostess stand. I often would ask him if he had been back to that restaurant. He said he got a new card recently with no picture at all, and he did go back, just him and his wife. Different waitress, never saw the manager, ate, paid, left. It was a Longhorn Steakhouse if you were wondering. I have a horrible workplace story I'd like to share. Several years back, I worked at a gas station on the overnight shift, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I was the guy who was super reliable. I was often working even when I felt sick, and they always made me work extra. The store manager would often call in the middle of the night to not ask, but tell me that I had to stay for the morning shift, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., because she was short-handed. I always ended up doing it, and then I'd get a shift cut later in the week so they wouldn't have to pay me overtime. This worked well for them for a long time, until I had to work a freaking 32-hour shift because everyone got the flu at the same time except me. Needless to say, I was pissed. But I figured I'd at least get some overtime since this was on a Sunday and I had 3 more days to work after that, but I was so wrong. They cut the rest of my week and got people from other stores to cover those shifts. But what was worse was that they didn't even tell me until I showed up for my shift. I didn't miss any calls or anything, and the manager never gave me a straight answer on if she even tried to call. And even worse than this was shortly after when I got the flu and tried to call in sick, which I never did before this instance, she told me I'd have to come in no matter what, and if I didn't, she'd cut my next 3 weeks of shifts. So I came in and worked, like an idiot. But the straw that finally broke the camel's back was the best thing ever for me. It was a random night in November, and there was an ice storm. This is Texas, so no one knows how to deal with that. So I get a call in the middle of the night that no one can make it in for the morning shift and I'd have to stay. It was short, and she hung up immediately after that, so I called back and tried to plead my case, hoping she'd come in or get someone else to do it, but she refused and hung up on me again. At this point, I waited about a half an hour and decided I was done with this crap. So I called her back and informed her that I quit. I shut down the store, turned off the gas pumps, and so as not to be accused of abandoning the building and probably being liable for theft or damage, said that I would stay there until she got there to take over. It felt great to just walk out of that door and not say a word to this despicable person that has made my life hell for a year and a half. Hi, I'm back again. I didn't think it would be so soon, but here we are. Okay, so strap in and enjoy the ride. I'm 41 and I live in the UK. I have been with my boyfriend for just over 2 years now. My boyfriend is blessed with very young looks. He's also 41 and 5 months older than me. He has also been blessed with good looks and a kind heart. A bit of backstory. My boyfriend, I'm gonna call him D, suffered a head injury in 2006 and had a blood clot removed from his brain. Lucky to be alive, really. Unfortunately, due to this, he doesn't fare well with lots of people. In his own words, he gets a buzzing feeling in his head and feels lightheaded. When he feels like this, he has to sit down. On Tuesday, we went into town with my brother. He was getting my daughter's bike fixed. At this point, my boyfriend had an attack of the shaky head. I told him to go sit, and we'll take the bike around the corner to get it fixed and we'll come back for him. Leaving him on the bench, my brother and myself walked around to the bike shop. About 20 minutes later, we walked back to where my boyfriend was sitting. I noticed 2 women were sat on the bench next to my boyfriend having a chat like they've known him forever. Now, my boyfriend is a very calm and polite person. He can't read situations too well and didn't pick up the fact that he was being chatted up. I walk over to my boyfriend and woman 1, a bright red long hair scrapped into a bun with a screaming kid in a pushchair. I'll refer to her as W1. Me, you okay, love? Are you ready? Woman 1, oh, this must be your mom and your dad. My boyfriend, no, this is my girlfriend and her brother. At this point, woman number 2 pipes up, black hair in a bob and slightly on the fluffy side. Really? You think that's right? Me, I beg your pardon? I was just flustered and in sort of a what the hell is going on moment. Woman 1, women your age shouldn't be going after younger men. Go and get someone your own age. Anyway, he'll be better with someone his own age. Me, oh, I see, and that's you? Woman 1, he would suit me better since we'll be the same age. Boyfriend, I'm 41. I'm older than my girlfriend. I was only talking to you and your friend to be polite. Woman 1, you're no way 41. I'd be so much better with you. Boyfriend, sorry lady, this is my girlfriend. And with that, he stood up, kissed me, and put his arm around my shoulder to walk me away. Glad he did, really. I was about to lose it. The face of these women when my boyfriend gave me a kiss was a picture, according to my brother. His words were, woman's mouth made the same sort of shape as a booty hole. I had to laugh at that analogy. Later I asked my boyfriend how these women got talking to him. He said they came over, sat, and started to talk. He didn't pick up that woman 1 was chatting him up. We're used to getting dirty looks as I look way older than him, but we normally just let it go as we're happy. My theory is that the kid to this day is still screaming, a Karen in the making. Big thanks to my favorite entitled narrator, LaughNapkin. Keep up the good work. Aw, thanks a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really enjoyed making it. Don't forget to tell me what you think about these stories and submit your own story in the comment section below. See you guys in the next video.